All right, let me plug the joint. Let me get at y'all right quick. Do men get honest dating advice? Do men get honest dating advice? By and large, no. By and large, men do not get honest dating advice. Some of y'all might see the name I have in the title. For those of you who rock with me, specifically on the Facebook side of the world, I don't have no love for this individual. Here's the thing, right? There's a slogan. Game, recognize, game. Long before YouTube, long before the advent of the internet, social media, and all of that, this slogan has been in existence. Game, recognize, game. When I listen to some of these YouTubers, some of these podcasters that speak on the topic of dating, relationship dynamics, sex, things along those lines, one of the things that I'm very adept at being able to pick out are fraudulent, fake individuals, right? This dude, I would see some of his shit, and he's a fake person. In just a moment, I'm going to show you a clip, right? And I want guys to understand that these guys who get on the internet and they call themselves having commentary relating to dating, dealing with women in various aspects, a lot of these guys, most of these guys are fraudulent. Okay, here's the thing, and I've said this before. Anytime you hear any type of dating advice and there's any bitterness, there's any type of complaining or whining associated with said advice, it's never good advice. Any advice that you get, and it doesn't matter what aspect of life we're talking about. It could be women, it could be business, it could be whatever it is. Anytime someone calls themselves giving you advice, and it comes from a place of bitterness, angst, vitriol, or just whining and complaining, that advice is no good for you, right? Not only that, though, okay, what's even more egregious, because here's the thing about some guys who give advice where you can tell that they're bitter or that they're complaining, right? At least they're being honest based on their personal experiences. The problem, though, is they tend to project their personal experiences as if the treatment they got at the hands of some of the women that they're dealing with, they tend to associate that with all women, or they tend to associate that type of treatment as if every man is experiencing that. And nothing could be further from the truth. The most egregious act is when guys get on the internet and they flat out fucking lie. They just flat out lie. They give you advice, right? They like to have these back and forth and these different panels where they're going at women and they're giving women a piece of their mind, and women are getting their comeuppance and all of this goofy shit. And unfortunately, this day and age, most men are weak. Most men aren't even men, they're males. So a lot of guys gravitate to negativity, right, for entertainment purposes. The problem with a lot of this so-called advice that's floating around the internet, where guys are kind of going in on women and shit, is that doesn't really help men. All that really does, it creates a bigger divide between men getting the type of favorable outcomes they truly want. It creates a bigger divide. That's all that it does. But we're going to go ahead and play this nonsense, and then we're going to get into it.
Fellas, this is why I tell y'all got to be careful about where y'all get y'all relationship / life advice from these guys on this fucking internet, on these podcasts and shit. Because yesterday I made a video about that Fugazi Cooley dude or whatever, talking about being a top tier man. I always kind of knew dude was a little buddy. But yeah, so here's the clip, and then I'll show you why.
Don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
So you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4". Only about what 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year, and I'm black at that. If you add that on,
that's why he said that. That's why he talked the way he talked. That's why. That's why he thinks he's a top tier man, because he's 6'4" and black. This is why. He's the trinket. He's the fetish. But this is the dude that y'all follow, fellas. This is the rhetoric that y'all subscribe to from hypocrites. A black man playing stepdaddy to some white kids with a single mother who was a BBL Becky. Mind you, getting her knocked up because she's currently pregnant, not even married to her. They've been together since 2017 and has yet to put a ring on her finger.
When you've been waiting for it, and think everything is a proposal.
And darling, this is more than anything.
so Christmas is around the corner, and since we got a little mixed baby here, we're gonna see which Santa he chooses. We got a black Santa,
and I have the white ones.
And let's see which one he chooses. Same time, don't cheat.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Which one are you gonna pick?
Like, all the boxes were checked. Cringy interracial couple content. She's begging to be proposed to. She's a single mother. All of these things that he tells you in clips like this.
As a single mother, do you believe you deserve a man in the top percentile?
I'm able to do everything else, whether or not I have a baby or not. I still can be a great wife.
Yeah, listen, single moms, recreational use only.
Do you mean like
Time out. Let's reverse it real quick. What?
Looks like you're doing more than recreational use with her, buddy. Or maybe you're not, because you still ain't married her, but you're giving her those mixed kids that she enjoys to make content with, though, right? So, like most of these podcasts, I keep telling y'all, a lot of these podcast guys that are the
There you have it. There you have it. Now, here's my caveat. I don't have nothing against single mothers, right? Just like you have single women who are childless, that ain't shit. You also have single mothers who ain't shit, right? I said all that to say this. Whether a woman is single with no kids or she's single with children, as men, right? As a man, you have to make a determination whether or not that particular woman is for you, regardless of the situation with her having a child or not. You still need to ascertain whether or not she is the woman for you, right? I will never tell guys not to get married or to get married or to date single mothers or to not date single mothers. Y'all can do what the fuck you want. What I do tell you guys, however, is whatever you decide to do, right? If you want to be a lifelong bachelor, if you want to be married and have a family, whatever you do, make sure you deal with those women strictly on your terms only. That's it. Make sure you are a man about your shit. Make sure you have a plan for yourself and you simply incorporate the woman into that plan. She needs to be able to assimilate to whatever plan you have for yourself, whatever vision you see for yourself. That's it. Whatever y'all want to do, I could care less, right? So one of the things that he likes to talk about, right, is single mothers. That's all he do. Let's talk about single mothers. So hold on. So let's talk about some of the titles he got on his joint. I think his name is David Cooley, right? So he has a joint titled, Cooley said this about single mothers. Cooley triggers single mothers with this fact. Single moms argue with Cooley on raising sons. The single mother he's dating has 2 sons, right? Another title, Cooley obliterates, I can't even talk, obliterates feminine single mom. I can't even talk today, right? So what he likes to do is he likes to make content where he's basically looking down on women as if he's perched high on some type of mountaintop, looking down on these women like he the shit, and all these women ain't shit. But the same women that he tells his audience about, oh, don't date these single mothers, they don't deserve the top tier men and all of that. He talks about all of this shit, but what is he doing? He's dating a single mother of two. Again, nothing wrong with dating a single mother. The problem is when you have these goofballs, these corny, lame motherfuckers who get on the internet and they castigate single mothers. They talk bad, they talk down, right, on single mothers. They talk about how single mothers are for recreational use only, but here he is, he got pictures with onesies on. You know what I'm saying? He got himself, the baby that they share, his daughter from another relationship, and these two little boys from the girl he's with, wearing onesies and Christmas pictures and shit, right? Which is goofy as fuck, right? But that's a whole nother topic for another day, right? But he's doing all this corny shit, but then he gets on his podcast and he's literally reinventing himself right in front of the eyes of his audience for the purpose of seeming like he's somebody that he's not. So who he appears to be publicly on his podcast is the stark opposite of who he is privately. And here's the funny thing about it. This is what I noticed. A lot of guys that spew red pill rhetoric, they are the biggest liars. He's not the only one. He is not the only red pill guy that talks down on dating single mothers, only for it to come out later that he's in fact in a full-blown relationship or even a marriage with a single mother. Again, I have no issues with single mothers. I just got a problem with guys who talk shit about a certain category of women only to be dealing with that same category of women that he's talking about. This motherfucker is a liar. The game is undefeated. So when people talk about, like when you have goofy callers or guys who get into the live chats and they talk about, oh, you guys should debate red pill. What, debate a bunch of fucking fraudulent individuals? Lies can never compare to the truth. The truth will always prevail. You cannot have a debate with truth spitters and fraudulent liars. It's impossible, right? Or you have goofy guys that say, oh, red pill and game is essentially the same thing. Really now? Where they do that at? The game ain't about lying. The game is not about coming on here and telling you guys lies. Then when I log off, I'm living an alternate life from what I perpetuate or perpetrate here on the internet. How can I give you guys advice if I don't take the same advice I'm giving y'all? It makes no sense. That would make me a fraudulent individual. That would make any advice I give, anything I would say to you, null and void. But yet, this guy's, his audience are a bunch of idiots, right? They say shit like he's the truth. He's always spitting facts. Here's the funny thing. I bet you some of his most hardened followers, they know about this. But guess what they're going to do? They're still going to support him. They're still going to follow him. And they're going to say, he's not infallible. He's imperfect like the rest of us are. Being a liar has nothing to do with being imperfect. We all have imperfections. But when you are a liar, when you consciously and purposefully lie to people, that has nothing to do with you being imperfect. Let me say this about something that he said in the very beginning of the clip. He says he's a top tier man because he's 6'4". That's a target point. And he makes well over 6 figures. What do you hear on the internet all the time? All women want is a man that's 6 foot plus with 6 figures. He believes because he checks those boxes that he's a top tier man. Let me break something down to you guys. Can a woman be top tier if she's a liar? Can a woman be top tier if she's a liar? If a woman is not at all who she presents herself to be publicly, and she is the stark opposite privately, can she be a top tier woman? Can she be high hanging fruit? Or is she garbage? Right? This is the problem with a lot of guys. They think if they check superficial boxes, your height is superficial. How you look is superficial. Your status is superficial. Your earnings, all these things are superficial. Now, here's the thing about top tier men or a top tier man. The operative word is man. The word man is in that. How can you be a man when you live a life that's opposite of what you talk about on the internet? You're literally lying to your audience members. You have commentary that you know is the stark opposite of what you do in real life away from the internet. There's nothing about this goofy that's top tier. He's a top tier liar. Let me not lie to y'all. No pun intended. He's a top tier liar. Do men get honest dating advice? In order for men to get honest, genuine, sincere, real ass dating advice, they must get it from a real man first. A man who don't lie to y'all. A man who doesn't deceive y'all or manipulate y'all. Here you have this guy, and I'm sure if you looked at his catalog, there is commentary of him talking about how women are manipulative or deceptive. But then he goes on the internet and he practices manipulation and deception. Do men get honest dating advice? Not from that goofy. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to holler at y'all. One.